Oh my god, why can't you motherfuckers just die?
And a crooked little town, now I lost and never found. Fallen leaves, fallen leaves, fallen leaves on the ground.
Okay, now the story in this film is fantastic, I have to admit. The story in Vampire Suck is genius. They pretty much take two 2-hour films, New Moon and Twilight, and they pretty much combine it into one 75-minute movie, and it's genius. I mean, they do it so well. I'm just kidding, by the way. This movie sucked. The story was terrible. If you really thought it was serious, then, yeah. The story was terrible. Of course they have to freaking combine two shitty movies to make an even worse story than it already is. They pretty much, this is what they do. They make it a story where Becca goes, or Bella, but in the movie it's Becca. I know, hilarious. And she meets up with Edward Cullen, not Cullen, Cullen. And she meets up with him, and I'm all happy, I love you in about 2 minutes, even faster than the actual Twilight films. And yeah, she pretty much like falls in love with him, and that's it. There you go. And she meets up Jacob, which you don't see him a werewolf until the second film, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, and you see him in about 30 minutes, a werewolf, and of course they have to make it funny where he's chasing after cars and stuff, and he sees a freaking mouse, I don't know, he sees some animal, he has to go after it, and of course he's running around like a freaking wolf, and everybody's like, what's wrong with him? And he's like, they're like pissing on a fire hydrant, and it's so stupid. Yeah, I mean, they throw stuff in here just like Disaster Movie. They don't do it as bad as Disaster Movie, but like they'll throw Alice in Wonderland, Lady Gaga, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, all this stupid stuff. Why? Because, yeah. Anyway, I mean, Buffy the Vampire Slayer makes more sense than friggin' Lady Gaga, who I think is a vampire in real life, and Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland is because it's a big friggin' movie, that's it. So overall, the story is terrible. I'll just give it a point zero. Yeah, point zero out of 1. There you go. Yep. There you go. Have fun with that. Okay, now the acting in the film is even better than the story. The acting in this film is fucking atrocious. Now, when I mean the acting is atrocious, I mean they didn't even fucking try. Now, the only couple of people that I liked in here, and there's a lot of people in here, but the only two I liked is Dietrich Badir, who plays Becca or Bella, whatever. Bella's father, and he was kind of funny. He was barely in it. He made me chuckle once, and he made me chuckle maybe another time. I don't really remember. I haven't seen this movie in a little while. And also Ken Jeong, who you think, oh my god, he's so funny. I love Ken Jeong. He was Hangover. He was hilarious. And you're thinking because they're actually advertising it like he's the main star. Like every time I see advertisements for this, it's like Ken Jeong or something. And it's just showing, a lot of him in the trailer. He's in this movie for seriously like 50 seconds. And he's funny for the 50 seconds he's in, but he's barely in it. So those are the only two really I like. And maybe the Bella character, the only reason why, whoever the actress is, she plays Bella so good. But the thing is, she plays it so good that she makes me hate Bella even more than I already do. And she just makes me go, I don't want to watch another Twilight film inside a spoof of Twilight because she's doing such a good job mimicking her that she's not really doing anything different. She's just making, I love you, Edward. I'm like, okay, she's just in stupid situations with this douchebag that plays Edward and this douchebag that played Jacob. Even bigger douchebags than the two that actually really play Edward and Jacob in the freaking Twilight films, and the fucking bitch that plays Lady Gaga. It's just stupid stuff. It's stupid acting. It's terrible. Overall, I'll give it a, the acting ain't good, even from Dietrich Badir and Ken Jeong. They're funny, but they're not good. I'll give it a point 1 out of 1. There you go. Point 1 because of Ken Jeong, even though they're not great in it. Whatever. The Bella character is still annoying, even though she does a good job playing Bella. It's not a spoof. You're just freaking mimicking her. That's it. Anyway, let's go on to the comedy of the film. Why the comedy? Because this movie sure was funny. No, this movie is hilariously retarded. And when I mean hilarious, I mean I want to kill myself. I don't know what those two have to do with each other. I'm not really sure. Anyway, this movie is painfully unfunny. I chuckled twice, maybe 3 times. I didn't go, ha ha ha, that's funny. You know, even Spill.com laughed really hard. They even said they laughed really hard at the puppets, and I'm like, no, that was because there's a puppet squirrel in the film. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, that wasn't funny to me. Okay, it wasn't funny in Disaster Movie. There was nothing funny in Disaster Movie. I hated Disaster Movie and Meet the Spartans. Both of them came out the same year so much I didn't even put it on my top 10 worst because I didn't even want to call them movies. This time I'm not going to be so happy. I'm not going to be so nice about it. This time, this is going on my worst. It's probably going to be the worst. I'll just tell you right now. The comedy is horrible. It's not funny. There's nothing funny about it. So if there's nothing funny about it, then I have to give it a 0. Alright? Now you're probably a 0.0 out of 1. So you're probably asking me right now, why did you pick this topic? Well, because it's a comedy. It's a parody, so it has to be funny. If it's a parody, it's supposed to be funny. And that's why I picked comedy as this category, and it failed epically. So far it's a 0.1 out of 3. Let's go on to the next one and see if it gets any higher. Oh boy, now the entertainment of this film. Ooh, I was so entertained. I mean, this is a fun movie, maybe to talk about, maybe not to watch, but, you know, if you have to see this, I'm just going to tell you right now, if you have to see this film, at least do this. If you still have to see it, and you can only pay for one ticket for a movie, pay for a ticket for Scott Pilgrim, and then go see it, and sneak into film. Even though I would much rather you just go and buy a ticket and see Scott Pilgrim, even if you saw it already, just see it again, because it's much better, much more, it's funnier, funner, it's not a word, but whatever. It's more fun, it's more intelligent, it does what it wants to do completely right. This fails epically. Even Spill.com, I'm going to reference them again, they said it's easy to make a Twilight spoof because there's so much to work with, and they fail epically. There's one scene where they could have done great. I'm not even going to tell. Fuck it. There's a romance kind of scene, and they could have made it funny because in the whole Twilight films, it's like, oh, Bella doesn't want to give up her virginity or some shit like that. And it would have been funny if they did something funnier with that. Of course, they made it look like Bella was a whore or something, but they did something in there that was so unfunny. It could have made it funny if she went and just whored herself out and stuff. That would have been kind of funny, but they went overboard with it. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But that could have been a funny scene. I just want to punch a baby. I don't want to see another film from Jason Dickface and Aaron Fuckface Balls Bitch. I don't even know their name. Aaron Shitberg and Aaron... no, I'm sorry. Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer. I said it earlier in the review. I don't know why I can't remember their name. Mostly because my brain is trying to forget. So, that's it. I'm done. 0.0 for entertainment. I wasn't entertained at all. I wanted to kill myself. I really did. And if you have to see it, like I said, pay for a ticket for Scott Pilgrim. So overall, it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, and it's probably the worst movie of this year. It's worse than some movies it's the worst spoof movie I've ever seen. I don't care what you say. Oh, this is a little funnier than Disaster Movie. No, it's not. It's not funnier than Disaster Movie. At least Disaster Movie had one joke that I actually really laughed at. There was one joke where they talk about the kid from Star Wars, Hayden Christensen falls on Prince Caspian's sword, and he's like, it's a kid that ruined Star Wars. At least that was kind of funny and clever. There's nothing clever, nothing really funny. It might have been like, that wasn't real. 0.1 out of 4. 0.1 out of 4. You heard me. The lowest score I have given in the longest time. 0.1 out of 4. Am I really going to give it 0.1 out of 4? Why don't I just go for 0 out of 4 and screw the 0.1 I gave for acting, because Ken Jeong was decent for the 5 seconds he was in it, and Theodore Badir does another Theodore Badir where he fucking just drinks alcohol and acts like a douche. I don't fuck. You know what? 0 out of 4. There you go. 0 out of 4. The first 0 rating I've ever given. There you go. Have a happy new year. I hope you love Vampires Suck, because, if you love all those disaster movies and epic movies and date movies, then this movie's made for you, you fucking moron. So there you go. Hey, I'm just gonna tell you right now, if you like this movie, go fuck yourself, because I am not going to ever listen to an opinion from you ever again. There you go. There's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't care if you did. It's probably much better than it was probably had a bigger budget and was much better than this fucking film. Alright? Fuck this. Alright, I'm done. Thank you and bye. 0 out of 4. Remember that.